If you're thinking about moving to Salem, Oregon, one of your big questions may be the cost of living. Can you actually afford living here in the city? And the truth is, some expenses may be more than you anticipate, and others may be surprisingly less expensive. So in this video, I'm going to go over a lot of your key expenses that you can expect when living in Salem. By the end of this video, you're going to have a realistic idea of whether Salem fits in your lifestyle and your budget. And we're going to go over things like housing costs, utilities, groceries, property taxes, insurance, and so much more. And some of these actually caught my family off guard a bit when we made the move here. Some we were prepared for, some we didn't actually investigate. That's our bad, but that's why I do this video, because I've learned from my research, maybe some of my own mistakes, and of course from helping so many people move here to Salem, that I've compiled this list for you to have a much better idea on the affordability of Salem, Oregon. The first expense that are on most people's mind is housing, and of course that's because that's going to be your biggest expense. So what does it cost to buy a home here in Salem? The median home price here in Salem, Oregon is $430,000. It's been right around there for the last couple of years. Now, depending on where you're moving from, this could be either right in line or it could be like a deal. We're a little bit above the national average, but when you compare it to a lot of cities where people are moving from, including myself, like Los Angeles and other big cities, then the affordability on this actually looks great and it looks like a good deal. And if you're comparing it to other cities in Oregon that you may be considering moving to, like Portland, Eugene, Bend, Corvallis, then Salem is definitely a bargain. Let's break Salem down into regions so you have a even more clear idea of the median home prices in those areas. A lot of people talk about South Salem when considering a move here, and South Salem is going to be one of the more expensive areas with a median price of around $550,000. West Salem is another highly talked about area, and the median price there is $480,000. Now, let's say you're looking for more of a starter home or an entry-level area, something that's a little bit more affordable, then you're going to be looking more in the northeast section of Salem, where it ranges between the median price $350,000 to $370,000. Now, if you're watching these videos, watching my channel, and you're thinking about more in the luxury market, then there are parts of South Salem and West Salem that will definitely take you from $700,000 up to a couple of $1,000,000 if you're looking for acreage property. While the cost of housing is the prime driver of many people's budgets, we're going to dive deeper into some of your more monthly expenses. So when you add them up, you can see if it all factors into your personal budget when moving to Salem, Oregon. The next budget item we're going to consider on affordability here in Salem are groceries, because let's face it, we all got to eat. And I thought it might be helpful if I tell you what some of my expenses are, and that's what I'm going to do throughout this video in different areas, is share with you some of my personal expenses. I've got a family of 4. I've got 2 young kids. They love to eat. They're growing, and I feel like they eat us out of the pantry constantly. And so I'm going to share with you that information, because your family size may be different. It's hard for me to speak to exactly what it's going to cost you. I will say Salem is right on par with the national average when it comes to grocery prices, so keep that in mind when moving to Salem. Now, when it comes to groceries, we've got plenty of options, including big chains like Safeway. We've got Fred Meyer and Target that also have grocery elements to it. Of course, we've got Walmart in different parts of Salem, and we've got Trader Joe's, which is one of my favorite places. Most people on the West Coast know it. If you don't, it's an awesome market. And we've got a lot of natural grocery stores like Life Source, Natural Grocers, and some other options. There's also a grocery warehouse that you can get some of your food more at a discounted price. So for me, I love shopping at Trader Joe's. I go weekly. I shop for the family. Also, probably like you, I don't get everything from just one market. But a bulk of my shopping is done at Trader Joe's, where I'm spending about $150 a week to get most of the staples when it comes to produce, some of my meats, and some other items, of course, that we cook with. We also supplement that with Walmart delivery, which is about once a week. That's also about another $100 a week. That stuff is to supplement things that we run out of during the week, and I don't want to make the drive out to Trader Joe's again. I'm also an Amazon Prime member, so we do supplement that as well. That comes about monthly, and we're around maybe $100 a month from Amazon subscriptions, which brings us napkins, paper towels, laundry detergent, soaps, things like that we need more on a monthly basis. We do have a Costco in Salem, and I know a lot of families take advantage of that. We probably go maybe 3 times a year, and we really kind of bulk up on some items there. And that then alleviates some of the stuff we get off of Amazon or at Walmart. But either way, that's approximately what we spend on a weekly basis and a monthly basis. Again, family of 4, 2 young kids that love to eat. We love to cook. So there you have it. I will also say during spring, summer, and fall, we actually supplement a lot of our produce by going to the You Pick farms, which is a great experience. It's actually less expensive. The fruit is way more fresh and tasty, in my opinion. And we take advantage of that several times a month where we pick our own fruits. Not so much our vegetables, but definitely our own fruits during that season. And that'll save us a little bit of money and give us a ton of fruit for the season. In this video, you're going to learn like little small tips like that You Pick season where you can save a little bit of money and get some fresh fruit. Throughout this video, I'm going to share some of those things that you may not know about when you move to Salem. We certainly didn't. We did our research, but again, there wasn't a lot of videos like this. That's why I do these videos. As a reminder, I'm Dave Fine, eXp Realty, local real estate agent. I love helping people relocate and buy homes in Salem. So if you're thinking about doing that, hit me up at the contact information popping up right now or in the description below, and I will respond and make sure we connect about your move here to Salem. Sticking with the food theme, we are going to jump into the dining experience here in Salem. It is growing and getting better here. I've been here for about 4 or 5 years now, and the downtown has gotten more restaurants. Some restaurants have not made it and left since being here, but they continue to try to grow that part of Salem, and I really do appreciate it because I love going out. I love food. My family and I are used to that in Los Angeles. We were a little worried about coming here and not having some of the options that we had in Los Angeles, but we are pleasantly surprised with the food scene here. Can it improve? Yes, and it is. But let's jump into the cost and the expense of it, because that cost has certainly gone up no matter where you live in the country. Fast food is crazy. I don't really eat much fast food, but I hear the prices are insane now. So I'm not going to really jump into that. I'm going to jump into categories of what it's like to eat maybe with 2 people and 4 people. Again, 4 people because we got to take our kids out sometimes when we go to restaurants. And we're going to talk about more of the casual dining experience. Before I jump into prices, I will let you know that if you're going to go in the downtown Salem area, prices are going to be a little bit more expensive than if you go to places that are outside of the downtown area. So with that said, if you're 2 people, you're going to lunch, you're looking around between $30 and $50, depending on whether you're getting drinks, specialty drinks, how much you tip, all that stuff factors in. But for 2 people, $30 to $50 at a casual sit-down dining restaurant. Now let's say you're bringing the kids along like I do sometimes, or maybe you're just going out with 4 people total, and casual dining, sit-down restaurant's going to run between $60 to $100. Now let's jump into dinner prices, which is going to be a little bit more expensive. Let's say you're going a little bit more upscale in your restaurant experience, going downtown for 2 people, anywhere between $60 and $90. That's going to get you a nice meal in any one of the restaurants in the downtown area. Now, if you're going out with 4 people, bringing your kids, now I'm bringing my kids to certain restaurants, but not others because they're not going to really appreciate the culinary experience. But either way, you're going out with 4 people, having dinner, you're closer to that 120 to 180 people. That's probably including some drinks and, of course, the tip. Now, with all this said, I will say I have seen the prices climb up here in Salem over the last couple of years, but that's not just Salem specific. That's just nationwide, and that's just what we're all experiencing right now. Now, coffee is a big deal here. Coffee is huge in the Pacific Northwest, and of course it is in Salem. So if you are a big coffee drinker, we've got plenty of options for you. I'm going to bring it up here because if you're not a coffee drinker, you may become one, or at least a tea drinker. Either way, some of my favorite places to go for coffee downtown. I love Isaac's, I love Eichbach's, Archive, I like Manna Bakery. And so the cost of your average cup of coffee is going to be between $4 and $6. And of course, it's just going to climb higher depending on how much additional things you want to put into your coffee and spruce it up. We are going to jump back into some home expenses. We are now going to talk about utilities. And this is a big one because a lot of people ask about who the utility companies are, and that's going to depend on what part of Salem you live in. But costs. Now, costs are going to vary depending if you're someone that loves to crank up the thermostat to 75 degrees or if you're someone that likes to chill at somewhere in the mid-60s. So all of this is going to depend on your particular lifestyle and how much water you use, whether you've got sprinkler system at your house, and so on. So again, I think what I'm going to do in this section here is share with you some of my personal utility bills. So they're going to pop up on the screen as I mention them. Keep in mind, got a family of 4, 2 young kids. So maybe that's you, maybe that's not, but you can get an idea of what the costs can be based on the information. And I thought it'd be helpful for you to actually share the ranges that I experienced throughout the year. So I'm gonna give you the lowest month cost and the highest month cost. So and then you'll be able to figure everything else falls in between. I'm gonna start off with electricity. I have Portland General Electric here in Salem. Bills popping up right about now. And we range in my household anywhere between $107 a month to $204 a month. The most expensive months are going to be during the summer when we're cranking up the air conditioning, using more electricity. Also, the cost of electricity seems to go up during that time. Now, the cost of electricity has gone up pretty considerably from Portland General Electric, about 17 to 18% or so, somewhere around there since I've moved here. But again, compared to where I came from, the city I came from, Los Angeles, this is much lower electricity rates. The next utility we're going to talk about is water. Get it through the city of Salem, and that runs me between $125 a month to $175 a month. Now, for water, it's interesting here. We save a lot actually during the fall and winter because we turn our sprinklers off. So basically, anywhere between October and maybe the middle of April, our sprinklers are completely off because we get so much rain here, and that actually saves quite a bit on our water bill. Our water bill hasn't really fluctuated too much since we moved here. It's been about the same. Again, this is my personal experience, so that's what we run about a month here. Now, a lot of homes here in Salem have mixed use energy where some appliances are running off gas, some are running off electricity. I prefer gas because it's just a cheaper energy source. Thankfully, my stove, my oven runs off gas. I wish my dryer was gas. That's what I was used to before. It's electric. So, and just to give you an idea of how much cheaper it is, my utility bills here for a year run anywhere between $15 a month to $105 a month. So you can see there's a big fluctuation. The most expensive months are going to be that fall and winter time when a lot of people are running the heating system if you run off gas. And so that's where it gets closer to that $90 to $105 range. Oh, and of course, I forgot to mention fireplaces are a really big deal here in the Pacific Northwest and in Salem. We've got a gas fireplace, so again, that just contributes to those higher bills, during that fall and winter when we've got our gas fireplace going more often. Now we're going to jump into trash, waste, recycling, collection. That's actually pretty even throughout the year. Our particular bills between $75 and $80 a month. That doesn't really change based on season. And so that includes your waste, your trash pickup, the recycling bin, and there's a separate bin for glass. A separate truck comes for glass recycling in a red bin. And then your grass clippings or any type of clippings from your garden work. So that's what that includes, $75 to $80 a month for us here. Now I'm going to talk about the internet. I'm not going to give you specific numbers for this because this just varies so differently depending on the internet package, the speed that you get, if you're combining it with any type of TV service or streaming service, then that's going to add to your bill. And then what type of packages, how many channels, like all of that varies so much. It's not really worth diving into my specific numbers. But I will say that the cost of it here is just as expensive as it was in Los Angeles for us. So when considering utilities, again, these are my personal bills. I thought it'd be helpful for sharing for a family of four. We have battles in my household of where the temperature should be. So I like it a little bit warmer. My kids, my wife likes it cooler, which should end the argument. But when you add my kids, that's 3 against 1. I end up losing that battle. But again, it really depends on your use of electricity. I will say the cool tip about living here is that you will save on water during that fall and winter months because you won't be needing to water your landscaping at all because nature is taking care of it for you. Salem is a place you're going to have to commute. We do not have a great public transportation system. I'm not throwing them under the bus. It's the Chariots. No pun intended. Chariots is our bus system here. It gets you places. It's adequate. It's just not on the levels of that you would find in some of your larger cities or bigger metros. We don't have any type of light rail or subway system. Our bike paths are decent at best. They could be a lot better. So you're going to need a car. And so with that, we're going to talk about gas prices. And the gas prices, again, are going to be at the time of this recording. And they have gone up considerably at the time of this recording. And I will also say gas prices on the West Coast, the western states, are going to be more expensive than a lot of states throughout this country. We've got different types of blends here. We get the summer blend here. Even though we refine a lot of oil right here well, not right here, but in Washington and in California, our gas prices tend to be more expensive. So I don't know if it's going to be sticker shock for you. I moved from Los Angeles, which was some of the highest gas prices in the country. And so the gas prices here are cheaper for me personally, but I know that's not the case for a lot of people that I've helped relocate to Salem, Oregon. Right now, the average gas price for a gallon of regular gas is going to be between $4.50 and $4.80 a gallon. This was a lot cheaper, about $1 cheaper, maybe a couple of months ago. So just keep that in mind. They fluctuate. I would imagine they are going to go down at, hopefully in the near future, but they've gone up again at the time of this video. They have nationally. So just keep in mind that that's what you're going to be paying. Of course, depending on the brand of gas, it could be more and it could be a little less. I will note though, if you are coming from a large city and you're used to sitting in traffic, just idling, wasting gas, you won't have that experience here. There's a little bit of congestion, some traffic during the morning and the evening, but you're at least driving, so you're making use of your gas. I find that I'm actually filling my tank a lot less. I'm getting better gas mileage here just driving around the city. So for whatever that's worth, just keep that in mind also when thinking about gas prices. Going back home, we're going to talk about property taxes. It's a little bit complicated here. It's not cut and dry. A lot of places you buy a home and the property tax is going to be based on the sales price, and it's pretty easy to figure out. Here it's a bit different. You can't really calculate it that way. And when you're buying a home here in Salem, the only way to know what your property tax is going to be is when you actually look up the specific property tax amount for the specific property. You're not really doing a calculation when looking at homes. It'll tell you what it is, and then you'll know what it is. It's again not based on sales price. Property taxes do go up here. They've gone up every single year that I've lived here. I know they cap you out at about 3%. They cap you out at 3% maximum raising per year. That's their allowable limit. You also get a discount if you pay your property tax bill in one lump sum instead of twice. So property taxes, they are different in Salem because Salem falls into two counties. You have Polk County and Marion County. West Salem is in Polk County. The rest of Salem is going to be in Marion County. Polk County tends to have a little bit lower of a tax rate. If you're trying to really figure out ballpark, you can factor in about 1% of what the home value is. And so again, when you're working with a real estate agent, make sure you're looking up the specific property to get that tax rate for your own purposes, for lending purposes. It's not going to be just based on a simple calculation. Now, if you live outside of the city limits, because there's a lot of people that live in Salem, but they're more in the county properties, your property taxes are going to be lower because you're not paying for certain city fees and add-ons that people actually that pay living in the city of Salem. Now, depending on where your perspective is, I know people that are locals here, born and raised, or been here for a long time. One of the biggest complaints they have is how much property taxes are here in the state of Oregon. Again, where I came from, I don't find them any different. The big difference is because the housing prices are a lot less than where I came from. My property taxes are a lot less. But when I'm considering percentage-wise, if I'm going to do it that way, it's about the same. I know when you compare it to places like Texas, we have better property tax rates, and however, when you compare it to other parts, we are going to be more expensive. Another big expense for people when considering their budget is going to be insurance, homeowners insurance and car insurance. For me, both are a lot less expensive than I was paying in Los Angeles, and they are a lot less expensive for people that I help relocate here. They tell me that they're pleasantly surprised by the insurance rates here. I'll show you a bill of mine so you get an idea of what I'm paying. Again, this varies depending on how big the house is, where the house is located, and when it comes to your car insurance, of course, it depends on the type of car you have, how new your car is, and so forth. So I can share with you what I have, and that maybe give you an idea. For homeowners insurance, I'm paying $875 a year. Now, when I compare that to the home that I had in Los Angeles, it's night and day. I have a much bigger home here in West Salem than I did in Los Angeles, and my insurance, homeowners insurance, is considerably less. And when it comes to car insurance, I'll give you what our combined number is. We've got two SUVs. One's a 2014, one's a 2022, and the combined total insurance for both cars is $2,800 a year. Again, far less than what I'm used to paying in Los Angeles. Also far less than a lot of places around the nation. We are, for both homeowners insurance and car insurance, considerably lower when you compare it to the national average, and considerably lower anecdotally when I talk to clients of mine when they tell me how much of a break that they're getting when they move here to Salem, Oregon. Some of these items on the list that I just gave you were things that we were aware of before my family and I moved here, but a lot of it wasn't. We had to learn only after we made the move, and that's why I do these videos, to help guide you, to help give you as much information so you can make an informed decision before making the move to Salem, Oregon, because I was in your shoes just a handful of years ago. So if you're thinking about making the move here, buying a house, make sure you hit me up at the contact information popping up. I have helped many families relocate here. I'm a local real estate agent. Again, I'm Dave Fine with eXp Realty, and I look forward to hearing from you. And also, make sure you check out my channel. Check out these videos popping up right now, because they're going to give you some more information about the lifestyle here in Salem, Oregon.